Alrighty, just getting this set up here. Welcome to anyone who's joined us thus far. My name is Nicolette. We're going to do a little flow this afternoon for the 12 p.m. flow class. We probably aren't going to use any props at all for class today. If anything, we might use a block, which would be a little thing there. If you don't have a block, you can use a stack of books. You can use pillows when we start in our seated meditation. You can stick some pillows underneath your bottom. That way your hips are a little bit higher than your knees and you can find some softness and some spaces. Otherwise, yeah, go ahead and get settled on your mat and we'll get started in about 4 or 5 minutes or so. All right. All right, everybody, if you're just tuning in now, my name is Nicolette. We're going to do a 12 p.m. flow today. We might use a block, we might not. The block would be that little thing right there. Pretty much just makes the ground higher up to you. It raises it up. For the beginning in the seated meditation, we're going to go ahead and start on a block. If you don't have a block, you can use like a couple pillows. You stick them underneath you. You can use a couple soup cans, stack them on top of each other. I don't know that, like I said, if we'll need it for class, but just in case. Even a water bottle is a great little prop to just rest your hand on top. So yeah, we're going to get started. So if you have that block, go ahead and stick it underneath your seat, or if you have that pillow, or a couple pillows. And you can either sit with your knees coming down with your sitting on your shins, or if you'd like, you can sit cross-legged. Just kind of, this is easy pose, so anything that feels easy, anything that feels really comfortable and just natural here. And then as we go ahead and get started, if you'd like to have some extra, like receiving energy, if you're feeling a little bit sleepy or a little bit lethargic, if you need a little bit of a boost or a bump for your day, Go ahead and take your palms to face up, and that way you can receive the energy as it comes through you. If you feel that your energy is kind of already stoked, or you've had a busy day, or you know you have something kind of chaotic or a lot going on this afternoon, and you need a little bit more grounding energy, go ahead and take those palms and face them down. And then so either way, whether the palms are down for grounding or up for some uplifting, I'd like you to draw your elbows in a little bit closer towards your sides and them in towards your ribs. And then taking your awareness to the back of your neck, so the base of your neck, your cervical spine, right where it meets your thoracic spine. So try to just find some little bit of a length there. The action you can think about is finding a really, really subtle tuck of your chin towards your throat. The movement's so subtle that someone might not even notice if they saw you do it. But as you tuck the chin towards your throat, you feel the back of your neck lengthen. So your gaze is still straight forward, it's not looking down, the head's not hanging, but you feel this lengthening through the back of the cervical spine. And then you start to send your breath to that space. Go ahead and soften your gaze, close your eyes if you haven't already. And so for these next 60 minutes or so, the thing that I could ask you the most to do is simply to breathe the best that you can. And so it's kind of this idea of meeting yourself where you are today. Just noticing where you feel your breath in your body, where you feel the expansive energy already. And then notice those areas of a little bit of tightness or tension. And then those are your areas that you get to work on throughout class. You get to start to find some new space, new expansion, new openness in those areas that were a little bit tighter to start. And so how do you do that? And to open up those areas, those spaces, you breathe. It's as simple as that. Anytime that you feel sensation throughout class, where you're like, ooh, that's a little pinch, or I can really feel that stretch. When you notice that, you say, okay, I'm going to send my breath to that spot. So you take a big inhale, and as you exhale, you imagine like you can send your breath to that specific spot in your body, and then your breath allows your body to know it's okay to soften. Your muscles can surrender with the breath, and it eases that sensation. So go ahead and reach your arms out, take a big breath in, palms touch overhead, you might look up. As you exhale, pull energetically whatever you need down to your heart center. Take your thumb tips, press them in towards your sternum, so the center of your chest. And as you take a huge breath in, lift your heart into your fingertips. Keep your heart lifted and open mouth exhale, sigh it out, yogis. So this is the time in our practice where we can set an intention. So an intention is kind of just like a guide or a reminder to as why you came to your mat today. Maybe how you want to feel during your practice or after your practice. And so something I've been working on in my own practice is a feeling that I'd like to embody throughout and for the day and the week to come. And that intention I've been setting is I'm capable, I'm confident, and I'm grounded. So choosing to set your intention if you'd like, or if it's a physical practice, that's great too. And so if you set that intention, you start to inhale as you breathe, your heart, chest, your whole entire body up into your fingertips, become full of that feeling. And then open your mouth and send it out to the universe. That I am that. It is no longer separate from me. Keeping your eyes closed, just take your imaginary or your just soft closed gaze towards the floor, almost like you're kind of bowing down towards your own heart space, towards your fingertips. And choosing to move in this practice from your heart space. So how can you talk to yourself throughout practice that you're moving from your heart? How can you move in a way that you are moving from that same space, your heart space? Slowly lift your gaze up and blink your eyes open. Go ahead and find your all fours tabletop. So go ahead and take your wrists right underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And find some just organic movements here to start. So that could be just some sways of the hips right and left. It can be some cat-cows if you're like, I need a little bit of structure today. That's great. I also invite you to soften your gaze or maybe even close your eyes completely. And just noticing what taking away the sensation of sight does for you. It oftentimes for myself, it allows me to move based on the way that I feel rather than more of like what I think I should be doing or the way it looks or the way it should be. And you start to move in a way that just feels good for your body today. Go ahead and come back through center, balancing out your sides in 1 or 2 more breaths. So just evening out the asymmetrical body that we have as best as we can. Go ahead and come back through center. We're going to take a nice little wrist stretch here. So you're going to take your palm, so the same way that it is right now, but you're going to take your fingertips to face your knee. So top of your hand is still facing up. You can do 2 hands at a time if that feels okay. This is going to be a pretty intense deep stretch in the wrists and in the forearms. And so you can start to sink your hips forwards and backwards. So sink the hips towards the heels and then drawing the shoulders back over the wrists. And even lifting the palms up off the floor. That'll allow you to get deeper into your fingers. If you're taking 1 hand at a time, go ahead and switch to your other hand and I'll let you know when we're coming out of this. And go ahead and take both fingertips, meaning all fingertips back towards the front of your space. And now you're going to take the tops of your hands down. So this time your palms will face up. Your fingertips are going to be towards your knees once again. So palms face up, fingers towards the knees. And you can find that same rocking forwards and backwards. And I almost feel that the more I keep my shoulders over my wrists, or maybe slightly towards my heels, I find a little bit deeper sensation rather than going all the way back. But you explore your body, this is your practice, and you see the sensations that arise. If you're taking 1 hand at a time, go ahead and switch to your opposite hand. And continue to breathe. So the sensation you feel in your wrists and your fingertips and your forearms, what do? You send your breath to that spot, and then it kind of softens. Go ahead and take your fingertips, all 10 fingertips facing back forward, and go ahead and sink your hips towards your heels. So make an open and closed fist with your hands, and then shake out your wrists, take some circles with the joints, and just do whatever you need here to kind of let that go. Alrighty, so come back to tabletop all fours. We're going to thread the needle, so reach your left arm up. Keep in mind I have the front facing camera towards me, so if this looks like my right hand, it's my left hand. Just kind of use what you're hearing more than what you see. So inhale, left arm raise even higher. Exhale, thread the needle. Drop your left ear and cheek, left shoulder down. And extend your right arm out long towards the front of your space. And now you're going to press down through your shins, press down through the tops of your feet, and the back of your left hand. You breathe into your right lung and find 3 breaths here. What can you find here? Become curious. Explore the body. Explore sensation. Start to bring your right hand back underneath your face. As you press down through the right hand, inhale, unwind, reach your left arm high. We're going to take modified side plank. So you're going to reach your left leg out long behind you, so straighten the left leg, carve inside and outside edge of your foot down. And then for more stability, spin your right shin towards the right side of your space. So now your shin's going to be perpendicular to your mat. Reach your left arm up as you take a huge breath in. As you exhale, go ahead and shift your weight further forward into your right hand and hover your left foot off the earth. So go ahead and extend your left fingertips now towards the front of your space. So you have this really long line of energy from your fingertips all the way to your toes. Flex your toes towards your face, so imagine you're going to kick the back wall with your heel. And then imagine, this is kind of funny, but like someone's going to tickle your belly, so you kind of suck it in. It's almost like you pull away from it, and now you found your core. Find even further reach through your fingertips and your toes. Keep the belly in and crunch your knee to your elbow as high as you can to the sky, like you're pointing your knee up. Inhale to extend, you lengthen out. Draw the belly in once again. Exhale, you crunch and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Nice work. Inhale once more, lengthen. Exhale, you crunch, squeeze, and hold here. Take a breath in your crunch. Exhale, squeeze, maybe touch the elbow to the knee. Nice. Inhale to extend, grow long. Set the left toes down and left hand follows. Come back to your full top, all fours. Take a breath in right through center. Exhale, bump your hips to the right side of your space. Take your gaze over your left shoulder and either stay here or sink your hips forwards and backwards. So taking your bottom to your heel and then the hips over the knees. And you get deep into this outer IT band of the right hip. And come back through center. We'll take this all on the other side. Inhale, reach your right arm up, take a huge breath in. Exhale, thread the needle. Right ear and shoulder comes down to the floor, left arm this time extends long. This time you're pressing down through your shins, your feet, and the back of your right hand. You take 3 huge breaths into your left lung. Start to bring your left hand back by your face. As you press down, inhale, right arm reaches high. Extend the right leg back behind you, modified side plank. So you carve the inside and outside edge of your right foot down. Spin your left shin so it's perpendicular to your mat. As you inhale, start to lift your left hip into your right hip. Imagine you can lump them together. And then shift your weight into your left hand, hover your right foot off the earth. Install your right arm up and over your right ear, extending the line of energy from fingertips to toe tips. And then find that little suck of your belly in like someone's going to tickle you, and you pull away from it. Inhale to grow longer. Exhale, crunch, knee to your elbow as high to the sky as you can. 2 more. Inhale to extend, you grow. Exhale, you crunch, you squeeze. Last time, big breath in. Exhale, crunch and squeeze, and hold here. Inhale, you fill up to stay. Exhale, crunch, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale to leave it out. Right toes, right hand comes down. Take a breath in through center, neutral tabletop. Exhale, hips go left this time. Peek over your right shoulder and sink hips forwards and backwards if it feels good. And come back through center. Beast pose. Tuck the toes under, hover the knees. So the lower that you hover the knees, the more that you're going to find that this is more engagement. So think about this action. It's going to be a counter action, so an opposing action. Think about trying to drag the palms of your hands towards your knees. So really try to squeeze them towards the back of your space. And now try to bring your knees back towards the palms. And you should be like, whoa, hello core. Keep pressing the ground down and away. Palms towards the knees back towards the palms. Keep breathing. Take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, tongue out. 1 more, fill up. Downward facing dog, pike the hips. Walk your dog, bend the knees, sway the hips. Do you. Starting to make your way as you're ready back towards center. As you inhale, come high onto your toes, lift both heels. Drop your heels to the bottom right corner of your mat. So heels to be the right, toes to the left. Bend your knees, lift your hips even higher, your cow pose. Tilt your tailbone to the sky, melt your chest towards your thighs. Inhale, come high into your toes, heels lift. Exhale, drop your heels to the left side of your space, toes to the right. Once again, you bend the knees. Imagine your cow pose. Tilt the tail, melt the heart. Beautiful. Inhale, high to the toes, heels lift. Exhale, drop the heels straight back as low as you can to the earth. Start to crawl your hands back to meet your feet. So you'll sway your hips as you slowly walk the hands back. Find a super deep bend in your knees. And so what this does, it takes the stretch to your lower back before you abruptly wake up the hamstrings. You can take any variation for your arms that you'd like. You can grab ragdoll opposite elbows. You can interlace your hands like a little basket. Take them to the base of your head so your pinky comes to that ridge. And then you allow the weight of your hands, your shoulders, your head to kind of find some separation there. Maybe your hands dangle. Explore here. Breathe. And start to come back through center. As you inhale, we're going to break down a halfway lift. If you've been in my classes, you're like, yep, I know the drill. As you inhale, you lift halfway, take your hands to your shins. So your hands aren't just kind of like chilling here, you're pressing. So you press your hands into the shins. You squeeze the shoulder blades towards the sky. Notice how your shoulder bones just rolled away from the floor. And now squeeze your shoulder blades towards your hips. And you're like, oh, my neck and my spine just lengthened. Now you bear some more weight into your toes. And then you now activated your core. You want to find the same engagement every lift halfway, because you're finding the spinal lengthening rather than like this rounding and crunching. Let it go. Forward fold. Once more like that. Inhale, lifts you halfway. And so what do? You press your hands into the shins. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards the sky. Shoulder bones roll away from the floor. And then the shoulders squeeze towards the hips. And then your collarbones just broaden, your spine lengthened. Shift more into the toes. And you let that go. Bow down. As slow as you can, roll all the way up, vertebrae by vertebra. Imagine like you had weights in both hands. Your chin is the very, very last to arrive, and there's no rush. You meet us when you're ready. Once you arrive and standing, we're just going to take a couple shoulder loops. So take your palms to face forward, knit your elbows in by your sides. As you inhale, roll your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale towards the back of your space. Pinch the shoulder blades together and down your back, just like we did in a fold, or in that halfway lift rather. So inhale, roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, you tone the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together and down your back. Once more, inhale. Exhale, squeeze and lower, palms bright towards the front. Nice. So inhale, reach your arms up, take your feet hip width distance if they're not. Inhale, arms reach high. Right hand to your left wrist, left palm to the ceiling. And go ahead and find a little bend, a little bounce in your knees. So this bounce is to find softness. And then next time you bend your knees, pause. And then find a little smaller bounce here. Next time that you take the top of your bounce, you're going to try to lift up above your kneecaps. You're going to feel your thighs engage. You're going to feel your inner thighs light up as you straighten your legs. You feel your inner midline of your core light up. And then you now go ahead and stretch to the right side of your room as your hips go left. And so it's really important that you always feel your legs in this pose. If your legs are going to start feeling like jello or you don't feel them anymore, try to find that lifting of the kneecaps. Feel the engagement of the thighs. Take one more huge breath here. Exhale, stretch a half an inch deeper. Inhale takes you up through center. Exhale, switch your grip, left hand to right wrist. Find that little bend, that little bounce in the knees. So each time you extend the legs, you're engaging and strengthening the thigh muscles. And then pause, bounce, the smaller little bounces in your bent knees already. And then squeeze the kneecaps, lift up above the kneecaps, lift the thighs. Feel the inner thighs, your core, your midline lift. And now you reach up and over to the left side as your hips go right. Take a check back in. Do you still feel your legs? If not, you know what to do. Take one more big breath. Exhale, reach a half an inch deeper. Inhale through center. Exhale, just part the air, hands by your side. Soften your gaze, close your eyes, and feel the vibration, the frequency that's running through your fingertips. The blood that's circulating through your arms, through your fingers, the pumping of oxygen, the pumping of blood. What does that sensation feel like? We're going to go ahead and find a little flow here, so go ahead and blink your eyes open if they're closed. Make your way to the top of your mat. We're going to do a modified sun A. It's going to be a hands-free sun A. So it's going to be a little flow. We'll repeat a couple times and you'll get the hang of it. So you're going to move with your breath for every single thing we do. So every action, every movement, you are taking a breath to follow that. You're going to step your right foot out in front. Lift your right toes really far apart, so spread them really wide, and then lower them down and keep them really wide. So make your foot as wide as you can. So what you just did is you found a really strong, wide base for your foot to, your body to balance on now. So as you inhale, you're going to take your hands by your side. As you inhale, draw your left knee up towards your chest and pull your hands up towards your chest. So it's like you're pulling your knee up as you reach your palms up to the sky. Now, as you exhale, you're going to extend your left leg towards the front of your space, and then take your palms towards the front of your space now like you're making stop signs, and push the energy, any stuck or stale energy, out as you extend that left leg. Now to pull it back in, you draw your hands back towards you. You're going to move through your third warrior. You're going to reach your left toes back and step in a double bent leg lunge. So both knees bend, left toes reach behind you. From here, you inhale, reach your arms up, take a huge breath in. Exhale, straighten your back leg. Go ahead and take your palms to touch overhead and take your thumb to the base of your neck. You're going to wrap your elbows in towards your temples, and then go ahead and take your elbows and your gaze down to the floor. And you're going to make a rainbow shape from here now. So elbows towards the front of your space, reach them forward. Reach the elbows up towards the sky, and now the elbows start to go up towards the back of your space. Feel the openness of your front body, and take one more huge breath in. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, hands by your side. Inhale as you pull the hands and the knee up back through center left leg. One leg to the left, pull the left knee up. Flip the palms back down and lower the foot back down. So we do that same thing other side. And so now you kind of have an idea where we're going. This time you step your left foot out in front, spread the toes really wide, find that wide base. As you inhale, take your palms towards the front of your space and pull your right knee up towards your chest as you pull the hands up. Flip the palms towards the front as you're making stop signs. Exhale, push any stuck energy out and away from you as you kick your right leg forward. Inhale, you pull it all back through center. Draw the hands, the knee back in. Step back to your double bent leg lunge. Right toes come down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Big, huge breath in. Exhale, straighten the right leg as best you can. Palms touch. Thumbs to the base of your neck. Once again, wrap the shoulder, wrap the elbows in towards your temples. Take your chin towards your chest. Elbows towards the floor. Find that rainbow shape with your elbows, with your heart. Elbows towards the floor, towards the front wall, towards the ceiling, and then up and back towards the back of your space. Feel the opening of your heart. Take a huge breath into it. Exhale, soften into it. Reach the fingertips back, inhale. Exhale, party your hands by your side. Inhale, pulls your right knee up to one-legged Tadasana. Use your hands to lift the knee. Exhale, hands go down by your sides as you lower the right foot back down. Nice work. We're going to do that once more each side, just now that we kind of have a rhythm with it, so we can kind of feel and flow a little bit more, one breath per movement. So, step that right foot out in front. As you inhale, pull your left knee up towards your chest, using your hands, using your knee. Exhale, push something away, extend the left leg forward. Inhale, pull it all back through center, step back to a double bent leg lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up, huge breath in. Exhale, straighten the back leg. Palms touch, thumbs to the base of your neck. Find that rainbow shape, squeeze the temples in, up, front of your space to the ceiling, up and back. Feel your left leg super strong, squeeze your left butt cheek. Inhale, reach your heart even higher. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, reach the arms back. Exhale, hands by your side. Use your hands to pull your left knee energetically up towards your chest. Exhale like you're French pressing it all down to the earth. Nice work. Once more, other side. Step your left foot out in front this time. Inhale, pulls your right knee up towards your chest. Exhale, kick the foot forward. Inhale, draw everything back through center. Double bent leg lunge, right toes land. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, straighten the right leg as best you can. Palms touch, thumbs to the base of your head. Squeeze the temples with your elbows. Back, lift your heart. Exhale, sit here. Inhale, reach the arms back. Exhale, hands through center. Inhale, rise back up, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, slowly, calmly lower it down. Take your hands to your heart. Palms touch, thumbs press in towards your sternum. And pause here as you feel your heartbeat. Attune your focus to your heart space. How does it feel? What sensations arise? What feelings? What emotions? And you're not saying, well, I feel this because of X, Y, Z. You simply say, okay, this is how I feel right now. And that'll probably pass. This will feel, either this feeling is something we want to dive deeper into and explore, become more curious about, or it's something that we might have felt before, we might have caught in our practices in our life. And it's something that we're actively and passively letting go of. Take a huge breath in and reach your arms up. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. Lift halfway with your breath in. Plant your hands, find your first plank pose. And so from here, I really want you to firm up your plank. So press your hands even further down into the ground than you feel like you can. So like imagine you can press them through the floor. And that same action, like someone's gonna tickle your belly, squeeze your belly up in and almost pull it away. And then squeeze the muscles of your legs to your bones. So your muscles are literally wrapping your bones. So try to squeeze the thighs and squeeze the calves and use that visualization. As you inhale, shift forward, come further onto your toes, drop down to your knees, chaturanga, lower halfway down. Upward facing dog or baby cobra, press the floor away, shine the heart through, and send your hips high to your downward facing dog. Together, take a huge breath in, and a huge breath out. 2 more, fill up, and let it go. Last time you breathe in, and you breathe out. Inhale, come high onto your toes. Exhale, drop your heels down to the bottom right corner of your mat. Same thing, bend your knees. Think about that cow pose, hike your hips. Tilt your tailbone higher to the sky as you melt your chest towards your thighs. From here, you're going to straighten your left leg. Reach your right leg up and back. As you exhale, crunch your right knee to your right tricep. So squeeze your right knee in towards your armpit as high as you can. You might start to hover the left fingertips or become light on the left fingertips. Squeeze the right knee even higher. Squeeze the heel even closer to the butt. Take one more big breath in. Cat your spine. Exhale, take your left hand back down. Plant your right foot back where it originally started. And go ahead and press your heart towards your thumbs. This time you straighten your your right leg rather. Reach your left leg up. Exhale, crunch your left knee to your left tricep. Squeeze it in as high as you can, and then hover the foot off the earth. Try to hold it for a breath. Step your left toes down. You're going to spin your right foot like it's your warrior one. So you're going to take your right toes to the upper right corner of your room. Your foot is about a 45-degree angle. Take your left hand to the floor, come onto fingertips. Reach your right arm up as you find a twist. You might find some circular motions with the right arm. Reaching towards the front of your space, towards the sky, towards the back wall, and towards the floor. If you're finding those circles, go ahead and find a couple and then take the opposite. Keep thinking about spinning your left lung up towards the sky. And take your right hand back down. You're going to spin your left toes to 10 o'clock on the little imaginary clock that we got here. And you're going to come onto your right toe to lift the right heel. Plant your hands on the inside of your left foot, start to rock forwards and backwards on the right toes. Your next rock forward, step your right foot on the outside of your right hand. Toes are at 10 and 2. And go ahead and take your hands down to fist to the floor. As you inhale, keep your hips high. As you exhale, sink your hips about halfway lower down. Inhale, hips go high. Exhale, squeeze the heels as you sit about halfway down. One more, inhale, hips high. Exhale, sit all the way down, Malasana, Garland's pose, yogi squat. So you can keep your hands out in front of you for stability. You can take your hands to heart center. If your hands are heart center, you press your elbows into your knees in the isometric action of your knees back into your elbows. And you find a space to breathe. Plant your hands, send your hips up. We're going to make our way out of it the same way we came into it. So plant your hands on the inside of your left foot. Step your right foot back behind you, back to your modified lizard lunge. You're going to come as high as you can onto your right toe. Your hips cat your spine so much. As high as you can onto your left toes. Your left heel lifts. You might hover the left foot. You might fly your lizard. Do you here and make your way back to downward facing dog. Together, take a huge breath in and an audible breath out. One more, fill up and let it go. Inhale onto the toes. Drop down to child's pose here. You can take a wide knee or narrow knee. Go ahead and take your forehead to the mat as you sink your hips towards your heels. Come back to your breath and come back to intention. And if right now you're thinking, but wait, we've only done one side and we haven't done the other. And if you're a little panicky about it because we haven't balanced out the sides yet, it's okay. I promise. I know where we're going. I will not forget. We oftentimes have this, like once we know where we're going, it's hard to sometimes be where we are. So can you use these next few moments to really hone in on the breath, hone in on your intention, and even though you know what's to come, you're not thinking about it, you're not wondering how it's going to go or play out, you simply just be right here. You breathe into the present, you breathe into sensation. Because now go ahead and find your way back to all fours tabletop. Beast pose, tuck the toes under, hover the knees. Actions, squeezing the palms to the knees, pat your spine even more, even here, hollow out your belly like you're gonna tickle. Find 2 more breaths. Downward facing dog, yogis. Together, take a huge breath in. Stick out your tongue, lion's breath out. Once more, fill up. And let it go. Inhale high into your toes. Drop your heels to the left side of your space. So heels left, toes right. Bend the knees, pike the hips. Think about your cow pose here. So right here, straighten the right leg. Reach your left leg up. Exhale, crunch your left knee to your left tricep. So squeeze your knee as high as you can up to the armpit. Squeeze your heel towards your butt. And you might become light on the right fingertips. You might try to hover them as you reach them towards the front right corner of your space. Lower the right hand back down, left leg up and back. Step it back to its original position. Leg, this time reach your right leg up and back. Exhale, crunch right knee to your right armpit. You're going to start to take your right foot to the outside of your right hand. And then pause. Can you hover the right foot off the earth for a breath? Cat your spine. Come really high to the left toes. Step your right tootsie down. Spin your left toes to that warrior 1 stance with the left foot. So your toes are going to be the upper left corner of your space, 45-degree angle. Right hand comes to the floor into fingertips. Install your left arm to the sky. So this is almost like a modified extended side angle, kind of, sort of, or like a modified bending triangle, what have you. No matter what it's like, you breathe. You might find those circles of your left arm, opening up the chest cavity, opening up the front side of the body. Take them the other way if you're finding your circles. Find as big as rotations as you can. As you reach your arm up to the sky, you might even take it back behind you. Go ahead and take your left hand to the inside of your right foot. Moving towards Malasana, so lift your left heel. Lift the left heel. Walk forwards and backwards on your left toes. And you're gaining momentum, so you can step your left foot on the outside of your left hand. So now you have the option here. You can find Malasana or you can find crow pose. I'm going to talk you through crow pose. Malasana is what we did before, where you bend the knees and sink your hips down. If you're like, ooh, I'm jamming on a little arm balance, follow along. You can either bring your feet to separate, about hips width distance. You can bring your toes to touch. Kind of whatever works best in your body, so maybe play around with both. Plant your hands about a foot or a foot and a half in front of your feet. Bend your knees, rest on. Take your knees to your triceps or towards your armpits. It's really important you look where you're going, look forward. Your heels towards your butt. Go ahead and lower your feet back down. Go ahead and separate your feet hip width distance. Take your hands underneath you. As you inhale, lift halfway. Take your left hand underneath your face onto your fingertips. Bend your left knee, reach your right arm up. Exhale, take the right arm. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, lower. Last time, breath in. And breath out. Inhale lifts you halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale lifts you halfway. Go ahead and find a grip behind you, so interlace your hands so palms touch. And go ahead and find a forward fold with the shoulder widths. If you've been doing a lot of sitting, whether you've been working or binging something on Netflix or what have you, this feels a really good opening stretch of your front body, of your heart, your chest, your shoulders, your neck. Bring your grip back to your lower back, your small back. Gently, gently release it, fingertips underneath you, lift halfway, breath in. Forward fold, breathe out. Inhale, rise, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center, soften gaze, close eyes. Feel your feet on the earth, feel your heartbeat. Feel the softness of your heart, of your mind. That calmness, that peace that's found within you. Alrighty, we have one last standing posture, one last bouncing pose. And what we're going to do is we're going to do eagle to this little curtsy squat, do a little side back stretch. So, shift your weight to your right foot, lift up all 5 toes of your right toes, spread them really far apart, and then lower them back down. As you inhale, draw your left knee up towards your chest. As you exhale, you're going to cross your left leg as high as you can over your right. And so kind of like you're just sitting down in a chair as you put across your legs. Any light between your 2 thighs, so any space there, see how much you can eliminate that. So see how much you can squeeze that space. You might take your left foot down to the floor like a kickstand. If you're like a little wiggle wobbly, that's cool. Take the foot down, and now you keep squeezing the knees together. And I want you to slightly, everyone, draw your left or your knees slightly to the left. Reach your arms up, take a huge breath in. Exhale, take your left arm underneath your right arm. From here, you might stop and give yourself a hug, reaching for opposite shoulder blades. And if you're like, I could do a little bit more, you take the backs of your 2 hands and press them together. If you're like, oh, I'm kind of jamming on that bind, you take your palms together and you continue that twist. Wherever you are, I want you to draw your elbows up, away from you, so towards the sky. Now towards the front of your space. Keep everything the same in your elbows, but pinch your shoulder blades together, draw them down your back. Feel the broadening of your upper back. Breathe into that space that you just found. Breathe well and breathe free for 3 breaths. How do you face a challenge? How do you face adversity? Do you breathe? Do you stay present? Keep the legs bound, unbind the arms, inhale. Bring the left knee up towards your chest. Exhale, drop the hands and the left knee down. So from here, you're going to step your left foot behind your right foot, like you're going to do a little toe tap. Come onto your left toes, lift the left heel. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist. Start to reach up and over to the right side of your space as you bump the hips left. The bend in your knees, keep squeezing the knees, keep reaching through the fingertips. One more breath into your left side body. Exhale, reach a half an inch deeper. Inhale, unwinds, come up through center. And arms by your side. Other side. So shift your left foot out in front, lift the 5 toes, lower them back down. Draw your right knee up towards your chest. Eagle legs, Ardhasana, right leg up and over your left. And so you start with just that crossing action. And you kind of see where your balance is at today. And you meet yourself where you are. If you're really wiggle wobbly, take the right toes down, nice little kickstand. If you're like, I could use a little more, you try to wrap your right foot around the left ankle. And wherever you are is great. Reach your arms up, huge breath in. Right arm underneath your left. Option, step 1, hug. Step 2, back of your hands. Step 3, palms. Everybody, step 4, bend the knees, sit down. This time I want you to slightly squeeze the knees and then draw them to the right side of your space. Your elbows and your knees in line in this perfect little straight line, like the midline going up and down through your body. Draw your elbows up away from you, towards the sky, towards the front of your space. Now tone your back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and now feel the broadening. Take 2 breaths into the space you created. Unbind the legs. We did the opposite on the other side. Let's go. Unbind the arms, reach up. And slowly set it all down. Just trying to keep you all on your toes. So, step your right foot, your right toes back behind you like a little curtsy. Come onto your toes, lift the heel, bend the knees. Arms reach up, breath in. Left hand to your right wrist, stretch to the left. Breathe into your right side body, bend the knees, squeeze your knees together, bump the hips. Take 2 more breaths here. That feels so nice. Highly recommend everyone get outside if you have the space or the time today. It's like 80 and sunny with a perfect breeze. Inhale up through center. Exhale, this time cactus your arms. So squeeze your elbows behind you together and back. Inhale, reach the sky. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back once more. We'll do one more shoulder rinse, palms touch. Inhale, knuckles towards the earth, lift your heart high. Actually, let's do a wide-legged forward fold with this rinse. Separate your feet about, wider than hips width distance until your feet are in a wide stance. Spin your toes in, your heels out. Now knuckles towards the earth as you lift your heart. As you exhale, dive down, forward fold, shoulder rinse. If you have the space, keep the palms touching together. Allow your grip to fall towards the left side of your room. Bring your grip to your lower back. Gently, gently release the grip. Inhale lifts you halfway. Come onto fingertips. Exhale, crawl your hands around. Frame your right foot. Low runner's lunge at the top of your mat. All 10 toes spin forward. Plant your hands. Step your right foot back to meet your left. A little bit of core work, left for claps. So either stay in your plank or inhale, bend the knees, hover them, kind of like your beast pose setup. As you exhale, straighten the legs, kick the heels straight back. We're going to do 5 more. You can do it. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, kick the legs. 4. Inhale, bend. Moving with breath. Exhale, kick. 3 more. Inhale, bend. Squeeze the thighs, kick back. Lift the core. 2 more. Inhale, bend. Exhale, kick straight back. Find that little tickle of your belly. Inhale, lower. Exhale, kick them back. I think I lied. 1 more. Inhale, you hover. And then exhale, you stay here. Take 2 breaths. Inhale. Stick your tongue out. You got it. You're so strong. Once more. Fill up. Extend the legs straight back. Stay with me. Inhale, shift forward. Lower halfway down, chaturanga. Press the floor away, high plank. Push up. Exhale, lower halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, press up, high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Right ear and cheek to the mat. Arms by your side. Attune your focus to your heart space. Go ahead and take your right ear and cheek to the mat. Extend your left arm out long. So it's like you're making your body into like a half T shape. Your torso and your whole body is going to be like the base, and your left arm is going to be the half side of the T. So make sure that your fingertips are directly out in line of your shoulders, not down or not up ahead. Directly out, and then roll over. I lied. Take your left ear and cheek to the mat. And then roll over your left hip and your left shoulder. So now your right hip is stacked over your left. Your right toes are reaching back behind you, or you stamp your foot down. Fingertips underneath your heart as your elbow goes up to the sky. And you breathe here. Come back to your center. Take your right arm out to that T shape. Now you take your right ear and cheek to the floor and roll over onto your right hip, right shoulder this time. Come onto your fingertips, left elbow up to the sky. Squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you as you tone your back. And come back to your center. Now we're going to do a flying, take flight. So reach your arms out to that T shape once again. You're going to lift your left foot up, point your toes. See if you can reach your left toes just a half an inch further towards the back wall. Reach your right foot up, point the toes. See if you can reach them just a half an inch further towards the back. Take your chin to the floor. Take your forehead to the mat. And so now you're going to exhale all your breath out. Press down through your feet. Lift your arms off the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Make sure you keep your gaze down so you can find the long back of your neck. Tuck your chin towards your throat. Press down more through your feet. Lift your heart higher. Press even more through your pelvis. Lift your heart higher. Now keep this lift. Hover your feet. Point your toes. Squeeze your butt cheeks together. Try to bring your toes, if you can bring them to touch. Reach even higher through the toes, even higher through the heart. Squeeze your shoulders. Lift, lift, lift. And exhale, let that all go. Take your arms to your side, take your ear and cheek to the mat. You might find a little wagging of your tail. You might bend your knees as you windshield wiper them. Bring your hands like little grasshopper arms right by your side, fingertips in line with your lowest rib. Take your tops of your feet down so your little toenails are pressing to the earth. You're going to press to upward facing dog right away. So press the ground away. And from here, I want you to tone your back even here. So imagine like you're going to roll your shoulders towards the back wall. So you find this opening through your heart. Press even more onto the tops of your feet. Lift your knees, lift your thighs. Feel your core lift up. Draw it up towards your belly button. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, pike your hips downward facing dog. As you inhale, come high onto your toes, gaze past fingertips, step up, fly to a seat, top of your mat. From here, take your feet wide, about mat width distance. Take your hands to your shins, modified cat-cow. As you inhale, shine your heart through, even tilt your tailbone. And exhale, round on your back, down towards your hill. Inhale, your heart shines. Exhale, you round. Once more. And go back. Inhale through center. Exhale, extend the legs out long in front of you. Press your toes towards your face. We're going to find Dandasana step pose. So, press down through your heels. You're going to feel your calves and your thighs light up. Keep pressing down, toes towards you. Take your hands right beside you, fingertips facing forwards. And you're going to press your hands into the ground so that you feel your shoulders draw away from the ears. So same action we've been doing all class. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and down your back towards your hips. And so now what you just created here is you keep pressing down through the heels, keep pressing down through the palms, is this really neutral upper and lower half. So you notice how the line is almost as close as we can to 90-degree angle. And it's this long extension of our spine, and then this long extension of our lower half, our hamstrings, our calves, all that. Take 2 more breaths here. Breathe into the space at the base of your neck and the space right between your shoulders. Reach your arms out long in front of you, palms face up. And as slow as you can, I want you to lower down to your back butt. Right at that point where you're like, all right, gotta let go, I'm dropping. Pause right at that point. So right when you want to let go, you stay and you hold. And you face this part of challenge, of adversity. And how do you face it? You breathe. Send your breath to sensation. So that part of your core that's like shaking right now, you breathe into it. Find one huge breath. Exhale, stay here. Just a half breath in. And exhale all the way down to your backs. Right away, find happy baby. Draw the knees towards the armpits, feet up to the sky. Take a grip on the inner or outer edges of your feet. If your tailbone is lifted and like rolling towards the back of your wall, press it down to the ground. So this is gonna kind of engage your core. Draw your shoulders to the ground and then kick your feet up to the sky. So it's the feet kicking up, the hands pulling down, the shoulders dropping down, and the tailbone pressing. And you find once again this neutrality now in our upper half of our body. You might find a little rock side to side. You could bend one knee, straighten the other leg. Come back through center. Go ahead and lower the feet back down. Take your feet wide, your knees come to touch for constructive rest. And I want you to take your hands somewhere to you. Connect back to your body, whether that's to your lower belly, whether it's to your heart, maybe one hand to each. Last thing I'm going to ask of you is you draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself the biggest hug that you possibly can. So grab your feet, chins, and tuck your chin towards your chest, forehead towards your knees, and kiss your knees. Say, I love you, knees. I love you, body. And if you're like, why the heck would I say that? Just try it and see how it feels. It might feel silly, but the more and more you tell yourself that, the more and more you embody that. And so squeeze every single muscle within you as you feel every single piece of strength, the fire of energy within you. One more huge breath in. And exhale, extend your legs out to the bottom corners of your mat. Take your heels off of your mat. Take your toes to the right and to the left as they flop. Palms face up. And allow your armpits some space to breathe. So now when you're here in your final Shavasana, your final resting pose, this is one of the most important, the most crucial, the most beneficial poses of our practice. It's the posture where it's simply the art of being. So simply just being, rather than the art of always doing, always going. And so can you allow yourself just a few moments of your whole entire day, maybe even of your week, to simply be just as you are. And it's inevitable that your mind's going to kind of try to distract you. It might send some thought, it might send some emotion. It might send like an itch that's on your forehead that you're like, I want you to notice those things, those subtleties that arise. They're vrittis, they're called distractions. And see if you can resist kind of feeding into that distraction. It's almost like when you're really bored and you go ahead and grab your phone and you start scrolling, or you turn something on the TV and you're just kind of sitting with yourself. You're sitting in peace and quiet. So can you resist those distractions, those urges, those fidgets? Find rest, Yogi Shavasana. So our time together is just about now coming to a close, and I'd like to at least offer a guided way to be let out of your practice if you choose. If you have the time to afford, please this state in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like or as long as you can, and really soak up these benefits of your practice. If you'd like to be guided out, you're ready that your practice is over, go ahead and bring some movements, move the fingertips, move the toes, and wiggles. And then go ahead and bend your knees and roll into fetal pose on either side. Use your bottom bicep as a pillow as you gently draw the knees in towards you. And notice how this pose, this posture feels within the body, within the heart, within the mind. Notice how it's almost like a cradling, comforting feeling here. That the ground, Mother Earth, feels like it's kind of like lifting up and just holding you and supporting you. Almost being like, it's okay, I got you, we're here. And keeping that in mind, if you ever need kind of that feeling or that support, that this pose, including child's pose too, is really great poses to feel that grounding, that connectedness, that softness. As you're ready, press yourself up into a seat, facing forward so that all of our hearts can face each other. Reach your arms up, take a huge breath in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Just like we began class, inhale, breathe your heart into your two thumb tips. Keep your heart lifted as you sigh. Audible exhale, let it go, yogis. Leave something here. And just taking a moment to thank yourself for showing up on your mat today, for not only showing up on your mat for this physical practice, but showing up for yourself, for your physical, emotional, spiritual, mental body. Knowing that the yoga practice is not easy, it's challenging of our bodies and of our minds. So before we close practice, I'd like to close one of the way one of my teachers has taught me, one of my most wise teachers that I've learned so much from. And she says, thank you, body, wise body, kind and capable body. Thank you to the teachers in all things. Thank you to the spirit that moves in all things. Thank you for our breath, and most importantly, thank you for each other. Take your thumbs up to your third eye, your center of intuition. Lift your third eye, lift your heart, your elbows, your gaze up to the sky. As you exhale, you bow with reverence towards yourself, towards one another. And we bow together and say, Namaste. I bow to you, you bow to me. We are one, we are free. Thank you so much, yogis, for taking the time out of your day to share your practice, your energy with me, whether it's virtual or not. I swear that I can sometimes feel it. Kind of just keeps us all going and keeps us interconnected. It's feeling really great during these times. If you have the means or if you have the desire to donate to our Teacher Relief Fund, you can check it out at www.blackswanyoga.com/live. Just a simple donation page that, one, where you watch the videos, but two, also where you can help your local teachers during these a little bit testing times. So I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Hope to see you again soon. If you want to follow me on Instagram or anything like that, I wrote my little handle down. It's my first name and last name. It's Nicolette, period, Salerno, Nicolettte, period, Salerno. Hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. Take care. Peace, peace.